Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world. So it's a parent's worst nightmare to get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning from the police that a son or daughter has been arrested. Worse yet is if that call is from the hospital. One of the most critical factors destroying our children and youth today is alcohol and drug abuse. It is a risk factor, a powerful risk factor, a social malady contributing to crime and juvenile delinquency, academic underachievement, early onset of sexual behavior, including rape, addiction, and numerous problems with health, mental illness, and emotional disorders, including depression and suicidal ideation. Overall, addiction affects 16% of Americans ages 12 and older, some 40 million people. That is more than the number of people with heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. And the three primary causes of death for teenagers are homicide, suicide, and accident fatalities, and alcohol and drugs are the primary causative factor in each category of death. So addiction is America's number one killer and crippler. It's a tough adversary that won't yield to token efforts. Every one of us, private citizens, business and labor leaders, clergy, teachers and school administrators, social service and law enforcement workers, government officials at every level, friends and families, parents and children, every one of us has a role in the effort to control and eventually lick addiction. Now, the Monitoring the Future study has done an annual study of alcohol and drug use among high school youth since 1975, and it has shown some very good and even promising results. But as expected, it also has some mixed findings. First, the good news is that alcohol use by youth has continued to show a 45-year decline in high school youth, except for a slight uptick in eighth graders. And furthermore, intoxication by youth also continues to show that 45-year decline. And through 2019, drug use in general, including hallucinogens, amphetamines, sedatives, ecstasy, cocaine, heroin, and others, either remain low or at best showed only a very slight increase over the years. And this is good news. So much of the work we have done in both the prevention and treatment of alcohol and drug abuse has far-reaching and significant effects and promising trends, and has resulted in drug use by youth remaining low for decades. The major problem we are struggling with is actually marijuana. And again, marijuana is a powerful, mind-altering, mood-modifying, addictive drug. As government relaxed its stance on marijuana use over the past decade or so, and as the marijuana corporations began a consistent campaign to legalize it, and as a lot of misleading information about its safety has spread through social media and liberal news outlets, we are seeing a decrease in the understanding of the serious effects and consequences of marijuana use, what we call a perception of harm. And we are also seeing an increase in the approval of use by both peers and adults. Thus, we see that marijuana use by youth at all levels is increasing far greater than we had hoped or thought throughout all of society, but especially by youth. And there seems to be no end in sight for this new trend. So unfortunately, more now than ever, the question is, how can parents help children stay drug-free? Well, the preventing of drug abuse is one area where parents need to be proactive in raising children. Here, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Too many parents have visited children in jails, hospitals, or psychiatric clinics and then realized and confessed their ignorance. They did not know what their children were doing or how dangerous these substances really were. But putting in the effort now when they are young is the best defense in a society that doesn't really value life, in a society where there are lures and temptations to use drugs on every street corner. So, to be honest, a children's best defense is an educated, disciplined offense, their parents. A children's best defense against harmful or inappropriate behavior is a loving and supportive family. Here are several ways that parents can help build a strong foundation for drug-free children. Show love and affection to your children. Give lots of hugs. Parents should act as a personal model of the kind of life and behavior expected from children. Be a role model. And remember that the vast majority of adults do not smoke, use illegal drugs, gamble, or are heavy drinkers. In fact, one-third of Americans are total abstainers, and another major percentage are very light or infrequent drinkers. Children are likely to copy parents' self destructive behavior. One study showed that 81% of parents who drink have children who drink, but 72% of parents who don't drink have children who don't drink. Set expectations and be sure to involve children in setting clear household rules and in the consequences for breaking those rules. Remind children frequently and openly of the family's disapproval of use attitude towards alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, and you may need to do it time and again. Prevention is not static, it needs to be alive and a dynamic process. Be sure a child knows that he or she can talk with a parent regardless of what he or she has done. Children may have a healthy balance of fear when they know that they've done something wrong, but nothing should prevent them from being able to approach their trusted loved ones to talk about it or about any concerns that they may have. Allow children opportunities to show responsibility and encourage children to get involved in positive, constructive activities and be sure to give recognition for their achievements. Teach positive values such as honesty, fairness, respect for others and the law, and use teachable moments to assist learning. Spend special time with each child and occasionally alone if possible. Make time for fun activities. Stay involved. Spend some quality time. Parental involvement is one of the most important protective factors for youth. Teach children to say no. Peer pressure and media pressure are powerful influences. Teach resistance skills and help children develop a plan to avoid or escape places where they may be pressured to drink or use drugs. So teach children to say no, but not in a disrespectful way, of course, and help them learn different ways to refuse drugs or high risk behaviors because they certainly will be presented with a wide range of circumstances, perhaps when they are least prepared. Provide consistent spiritual guidance. Religion has been proven time and again to be another powerful protective factor, and the family practice of religion is itself one of those strong defenses. Encourage and help your children with their studies. Academic achievement is a proven protective factor for youth, but school doesn't come easy. It takes time and effort, and it takes parent involvement with home study. Help your children. Many times, children don't even have a place where they can go to do their schoolwork without interruption or distractions. And many times, parents just say, go do your work without giving the proper guidance or support or even helping them with their assignments. It takes effort, conscious effort for parents, even after a hard day at work. And most importantly, build as many protective factors into your family as possible while addressing and removing the risk factors. So, how does one talk to kids about alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs? According to the Partnership for a Drug Free America, don't worry about how to start the discussion and don't get discouraged if it seems that children aren't listening. Many youth said later in life that it was the advice and concern of their parents that kept them from alcohol, tobacco, or drugs. A parent cannot begin talking with children too soon, and as long as it isn't badgering or threatening, you can't do it too often. Use those teachable moments. Make one thing crystal clear. Alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs are dangerous, and it is not accepted that children use them, especially not in this family. And again, it has been found that parental involvement in religious activities are the two most effective protective factors for teens. Parents who eat meals with their kids, know where they are after school and on weekends, and are involved in their children's school activities and academics are likeliest to be parents of kids who don't smoke, drink, or use marijuana or other illegal drugs. And that was presented by Joseph Califano, the former Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare. Now, of course, there are no absolutes, no promises, but overall, the research shows that if parents are non smoking, non drinking, church going, consistent, family oriented, loving disciplinarians, the odds are overwhelmingly in your favor that you will raise a positive, drug free child. And overall, that's a big part of raising healthy children. Hey, be safe, be well, and God bless.